Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hi, friends. It's Susan and Riley. Riley is doing a lot better than he was the last time you saw him. So here's Riley. He's doing so much better than he was. And I cut his hair real short because it's summertime and I'm not going to be using any more oral flea medication. So I figured it'd be better to keep an eye on him with short hair for the summer at least. Anyway, I'm going to give you an update. I was trying to keep you guys in suspense, and I've actually been contacted by people who are wondering what's going on. And so if you remember, I told you I had a camp out coming, and that's what we're doing today. We're packing the trailer for a camp out. And I had told you that I wasn't going to pull it. Kenny wasn't going to pull it. And, but I didn't tell you how it was going to get there. So the deal was my friend Colleen, who you've met before, Colleen has a Ford, I think E150. I think it's an E150. And we're going camping together. And she was willing to pull me to the campground. The campground is about 2 hours from here. And that's what I was going to do. Well, if you remember the last time I gave you an update, Kenny put the hitch on the Hyundai Palisade, and we weren't going to pull the trailer with the Palisade, but we did try it the other night. After he got it on, we took it for a test drive, and I'm going to share with you right here how that went.
Well, Susan, what do you think about towing a trailer with your 2020 Hyundai Palisade?
It feels different than the van. On the highway, I felt more like I was blowing around a little bit more than with the van. But on the back roads, I'm going 56 right now and it's fine. I'm not feeling anything. It's not terrible. I did feel more comfortable in Joy for some reason, but I don't know.
I think maybe it's because this is your primary vehicle.
It might be. We're also driving it in sport mode because we heard that's what you're supposed to do. We normally drive this in economy mode. So it may be a little rougher just because of the mode being different. And it says we're getting really good gas mileage, way better than we can get with the van.
So you think you could do this if you needed to, huh?
If I needed to. So that went pretty good. And because the campground is only 2 hours away, Kenny and I talked about it, and we decided I'm going to go ahead and pull the trailer with the Palisade, because the Palisade's supposed to pull 5,000 pounds. The trailer wears less than 2,700, so like half of the tow rate. It was a little different pulling it than it was with the van, and so I'm not that comfortable on the highway, and I think we're going to try to take some back roads. And then the other thing is Colleen is actually going to follow me, or we're going to caravan. And then that way, if at any point I start feeling like there's a problem, she has a hitch on her van and she can tow me. There's just safety in numbers. So that's what we're going to do. I'm very excited, but the problem is I practically unpacked everything from the trailer and from Joy, because when we took Joy, who is my minivan camper, if you're new here, when we took her to the dealership, we took everything out of her, because I took my Palisade to the dealership one time and someone had a party in there. They ruined the back seat. They left a knife in there. It was filthy. And so I'm very leery of dealerships now. And now that they've quoted me $5,000 for, and can't tell me if it's going to work. And by the way, they wouldn't give us the copy of this, we had them do a diagnostic test that we paid $175 for, and they didn't give us a copy of it. So I'm not real happy about that. So when I get ready to buy my high top van, guess where I won't be buying it? So that's exciting. I am getting back on the road again. I'm going to pull it with the Palisade, and we'll see how it goes. Colleen and I are both extremely excited about where we're going. I've been there before. It's beautiful. And there are hookups because we are in the heat of summer. It is the end of June here in North Florida and South Georgia, and it is hot. So we need to go where we have plugins, and we're going to have AC, which is why I'm glad I have the trailer to take, because it does have AC. But I'm going to turn you around here and show you what all needs to be done. All of my puck lights, all of them, the batteries are dead. They're all battery powered. I did not build out my kitchen cabinet yet. I'm going to take measurements today. And I practically unpacked everything. So I've got a lot of packing to do. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you in suspense anymore, because I know that some of you have the same vehicle that I have, which is a 2016 Town and Country, Chrysler Town and Country. We've been having an issue with the cylinder 5 misfire, and it started with pulling the trailer, but then it ended up just being a all the time problem. We went to the dealership and they told us to do a lot of things that we had already done. So that's why we weren't very trusting of that. And it was $5,100, and with fees and taxes, we paid $8,000. So I'm not going to put that kind of money into that. Anyway, we called a mechanic who was recommended here in town, and he said he had seen this problem before. He told, because we were going to take it to him. We weren't asking him for help. We were just going to take it to him. But Kenny did tell him everything that he had already done and exactly what the problem was. And the guy said, I've seen this before. And he said, you need to take your vehicle. I don't know why he doesn't do this himself, but I think he's just busy. And he was being very, very helpful. And we will, if we ever have to take it somewhere, we're going to take it to him. But he says we need to either have, this is what it's called. There's 3 names for it. An ECM, which is an electronic control module, a powertrain control module, and it's also called an ECU, which is an electronic control unit. And he said that we should take it to the dealership, which we're not taking it to the dealership, and either have them reset that or give us a new one. Well, Kenny did some research and he found several places that will sell you one, and it's programmed to your VIN number, because we were concerned, well, if we get this and we put it in, how are our electronic key fob's going to work because they're connected to the control module that came with the vehicle. And they run from $200 to $900. And Kenny called one, and he was actually afraid to call this one because it didn't give you a price unless you call. And usually those kind of things are higher, and that's why they don't give you the price. But he called them, and they said it was only $200. They would set it to our vehicle, which is why it took a while to get here, because it's not like hey, let's take this off the shelf and send it to you. They had to program it for our car, for our VIN number. And the cool thing about this is, if it doesn't work, they take it back. If it doesn't take the problem, we send it back and we get a refund, less a stocking fee, which I think is $25 or something, like 25%. I'm sorry. But anyway, we get part of our money back. And the mechanic seemed very, very hopeful. He said that he had seen this same problem before and that this fixed it. So we figured, what do we have to lose? So I've been anxiously waiting. It wasn't supposed to come until today's Saturday. It wasn't supposed to come until this evening, which is kind of sad because Kenny works Monday through everything, but he's off Sunday, but we have church on Sunday, and I was afraid he wouldn't have time to put it on. Anyway, surprise, surprise, it came last night, which was Friday night. And I'm going to show you a picture of what it looks like right here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And as you can see, Kenny's already started working on it. He actually got it on. It is 12 o'clock right now, 12 noon, and he's test driving it. It's on, the car started. There is still a light, like an engine light on, the same engine light that was on before, but Kenny says that it doesn't necessarily go out on its own anyway. He is at a couple auto parts stores right now getting the codes read, and we don't know. We don't know if it's going to work, but we're doing all we can to try. If I'm going to say when, I'm going to be positive, when we get Joy running the Caravan, we're not going to tow the trailer with it. I don't know that if that's what caused the problem, but we're just not going to take the chance. But I need to have my van to travel in because I'm more of a van lifer than a trailer. I mean, the camper is good for close areas. Now, Kenny and I did drive it on a 16-day trip last year from Florida to Michigan and back, and it was wonderful. It worked out great. We pulled it with the van. Everything worked perfect. And I'm actually going to show you a video about that because that was an amazing trip, and it was so cheap because of the way we traveled. But anyway, we probably will not pull the trailer with it. I don't know what's going to happen with the trailer. If taking it this week with the Palisade works out, we may use it locally, like within a couple hours. But as far as long-term trips, until I get a larger, like if I get a Ford E150, 350, whatever, we're probably not gonna. I'm not gonna pull it all over the place. That's all I can say. But anyway, I don't know if it has fixed the problem, but I want you to know that we are working on it, and I am. We do have alternatives with the Palisade having the hitch now, and I do have a road trip coming up in September. It's going to be a long road trip, and even if the van is not, if I'm not feeling secure in the van, I will be taking the Palisade, and I have my swing box and my Yakima storage box, which will give me a lot more room in the Palisade. I used the Palisade for 2 years, and it was fine. It's just I love my van because it has everything I need, and it's built out. And anyway, that's what's going on. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I did want to catch you up and let you know that I am packing for a trip, and I have a couple more videos that will be out within just a couple days. All right, talk to you later. Bye.